Jealousy is a strange shadow. It doesn't always scream, it whispers. And when it comes to a woman's feelings for a man, that shadow shows itself in ways that most men completely miss. She doesn't need to say, "I'm jealous." Instead, her body, her tone, and her subtle actions start sending signals that are easy to overlook until it's too late. One misplaced glance, one unnecessary comment, or one silent pause can reveal the storm boiling underneath. Think about it. Why does her mood suddenly change when another woman enters the room? Why does she laugh a little louder, or go quiet at the exact wrong time? Why does she touch her phone like it's her lifeline, yet her eyes keep darting back to you? Jealousy is not just an emotion, it's a weapon, a mirror, and sometimes, a confession she never planned to make. In this script, we'll explore how jealousy reveals itself in secret, hidden ways. Before we dive in, make sure to stay till the end because once you see these signs, you'll never be able to unsee them again. The subtle shift in body language. Jealousy rarely begins with words. It creeps into the body first. A woman who feels that sudden sting of competition doesn't always plan how she reacts. Her body betrays her before her mind can stop it. And if you know what to look for, the truth becomes almost impossible to hide. Watch her posture. A woman who was relaxed a moment ago may suddenly stiffen when another woman walks into the conversation. Her shoulders rise just a little higher, her spine straightens, and she positions herself closer to you as if to mark her territory without ever saying it out loud. This is not random, it's a subconscious attempt to claim space. Then comes her eyes. The human gaze is a weapon, and in jealousy, it sharpens. If another woman speaks to you, notice how her eyes flick quickly between you and the other person. Sometimes she holds her gaze too long, almost daring the other woman to keep talking. Other times, she looks away sharply, as though refusing to acknowledge the competition. Both are signs of inner conflict. Even her smile changes. A forced smile is thin, stretched, and brief. It doesn't reach the eyes. In jealousy, the smile becomes a mask. She may flash it to hide her discomfort, but the tension around her jaw or the speed with which it disappears tells the real story. Another clue hides in her hands. Watch what she does with them. Nervous fidgeting, tapping on a glass, twisting a ring, or repeatedly touching her hair, all of these are outlets for inner tension. A confident presence would remain calm. But jealousy brings restlessness that leaks into every movement. One of the strongest signals is proximity. If she suddenly leans in closer to you, interrupts with physical touch, or adjusts her position to block another woman's line of sight, she's drawing invisible boundaries. She may not admit it, but her body is saying, "He's mine, stay away." This shift in body language is often fast, almost like a reflex. It happens before words catch up. The body is honest in ways the mouth is not. And while most men are blind to these details, anyone who pays attention can see the transformation. But here's the darker part. Sometimes, she doesn't even realize she's doing it. Jealousy is not always a conscious choice. It's instinctive, tied to fear of loss and the need for validation. That's what makes these signals so powerful. They reveal the truth even when she's trying to hide it. So, the next time you notice her sitting straighter, smiling tighter, or standing closer than usual when another woman enters the picture, understand this: her body has already spoken. The words she chooses, and the ones she doesn't. Jealousy has a strange way of slipping into conversation. Words, tone, and timing can expose what someone desperately wants to hide. A woman who feels threatened doesn't need to say, "I'm jealous." Her choice of words does the job for her. The first sign often comes through sudden interruptions. If another woman is speaking to you, she might cut in with small comments, sometimes playful, sometimes sharp. She might tease you louder than usual, or laugh at something that isn't particularly funny, just to pull your attention back. To someone unaware, it looks like harmless banter. But underneath, it's a quiet battle for dominance. Pay attention to comparisons. A jealous woman might casually mention another man's name in conversation, but only when she senses another woman is around. She'll say things like, "Oh, my friend told me I look great in this dress, he has good taste." The point isn't the compliment, the point is to stir a reaction in you, the way she felt when she noticed someone else trying to catch your eye. Tone is another weapon. Words might stay polite, but tone carries the bite. For example, she may say something seemingly normal like, "Oh, she's really nice," but the flatness in her voice gives her away. Or she might exaggerate her sweetness when talking about the other woman, layering it with so much sugar that it sounds fake. That contrast is not accidental, it's defense disguised as kindness. Then there's the silence. Sometimes jealousy doesn't speak at all. A woman who usually engages in conversation may suddenly go quiet when you mention another woman's name. She won't argue, won't protest, but the sudden drop in energy is louder than any words. That silence isn't peace, it's tension contained. Subtle questioning is another clue. She might ask about your day in a way that feels normal, but then dig a little deeper when she senses another woman's presence. So, who was there with you? Did you go out alone? These questions sound casual, but the real motive is control. She's not gathering facts for small talk, she's measuring threat. There's also the hidden sarcasm. Instead of directly showing her discomfort, she may cloak it in humor. She might joke about how popular you are, or laugh about the attention you're getting. But sarcasm is rarely just humor. It's a safe way of expressing feelings that she doesn't want to admit openly. And sometimes, the biggest reveal is what she avoids saying. If she used to compliment you easily but suddenly stops when another woman compliments you, that gap is her silence speaking. Words withheld can be as powerful as words spoken. When jealousy leaks into conversation, it's never random. Every laugh, every pause, every slip of sarcasm carries hidden meaning. Most men only hear the surface, but those who listen deeper understand what's really being said. The emotional storms beneath the surface. Jealousy is not just something you can see, it's something you can feel. Beneath the little comments, fake smiles, and forced laughter, there is an emotional storm brewing inside her. And even if she tries to hide it, emotions have a way of slipping through. One of the strongest emotional signs is irritation without reason. A woman who feels jealous may suddenly act annoyed at things that normally wouldn't bother her. Maybe you came a little late, or maybe you looked at your phone when another girl texted. These are small things, but the reaction is larger than expected. Her emotions are not about the situation itself, they are about the hidden fear of losing your attention. Mood swings are another giveaway. In one moment she seems happy, playful, and close. But the second another woman enters the picture, her mood shifts. She might become colder, more distant, or overly dramatic. This quick change is her inner world betraying her. Jealousy doesn't wait for a polite exit. It shows itself instantly. There's also the way she seeks reassurance. Sometimes jealousy doesn't appear as anger, it comes as insecurity. She may suddenly ask you questions like, "Do you still like me?" or "Do you find her prettier than me?" These questions sound innocent, but they are loaded with fear. She doesn't want facts, she wants comfort. She wants to be reminded that she is still the one who matters most. Watch her body language when she feels jealous. Maybe she fidgets with her hands, avoids eye contact, or crosses her arms tightly. Maybe she forces a smile that doesn't match her eyes. These are microsigns, tiny leaks of emotion her mind cannot control. The body always tells the truth, even when the mouth stays silent. Sometimes jealousy makes her act overly sweet. She may suddenly become extra caring, offering help, compliments, or affection in public. On the surface, it looks like love, but often, it's her way of securing her position, making sure no one else gets the chance to replace her. It's protection disguised as kindness. Another deep emotional sign is overreaction to small changes in your attention. If you give another woman a second glance, she notices. If you laugh at another woman's joke, she feels it. To her, every small shift is a warning signal, and because she can't control those emotions, her response often comes out stronger than she wants. Perhaps the most powerful storm of all is silent anger. She may not shout, may not argue, but her silence feels heavy. She avoids talking, avoids eye contact, and creates distance. That silence is not calm, it's punishment. She is making you feel her absence, hoping you notice the void she has created. Jealousy is rarely logical. It comes from fear, insecurity, and desire, mixing into an emotional storm that is hard to control. And no matter how carefully she tries to cover it, those storms always leave traces. The hidden actions she takes when jealousy controls her. When jealousy takes hold, it rarely stays trapped inside the mind. It spills into actions, subtle, sharp, and sometimes destructive. These actions may look normal to an outsider, but when you connect the dots, you begin to see a clear pattern. One of the first actions is interference. A jealous woman often tries to insert herself into situations where you are interacting with another woman. If you're talking to someone, she suddenly joins the conversation. If you're texting, she wants to know who it is. It may seem like coincidence, but it's strategy. She is making sure no space exists where you and another woman can connect freely. Another action is competition. Jealousy turns even the most calm person into a competitor. She may suddenly compare herself with other women in your life, pointing out how she is prettier, smarter, or more loyal. Sometimes she doesn't say it directly, she just acts extra polished, posts attractive photos online, or brags subtly about her strengths when she feels threatened. It's not vanity, it's defense. Then comes the testing phase. A jealous woman often creates small traps to measure your loyalty. She may ask, if she called you right now, would you pick up? Or, who would you choose if you had to? These questions are not jokes, they are psychological tests designed to reveal where your attention truly lies. Another action is gossip or subtle sabotage. If she feels truly threatened by another woman, she might start making small negative comments about her. She's not really that nice, or don't you think she acts fake? These little remarks may seem harmless, but they are carefully designed to lower the other woman's value in your eyes. Social media often becomes her playground for jealousy. She may stalk the profiles of women you interact with, checking likes, comments, and photos. Then, she may react by posting things of her own, pictures that show she's happy with you, or quotes that hint at feeling betrayed. Her actions online are indirect confessions of her emotions. Some women take the opposite approach, withdrawal. Instead of attacking, they pull away, hoping their absence forces you to notice. She may suddenly ignore your messages, delay replies, or avoid meeting up. On the surface, it looks like she is busy. In truth, it is her way of punishing you, making you feel the cost of giving attention elsewhere. Another common sign is exaggeration. She may blow up small issues just to shift your attention back to her. Something as simple as forgetting to compliment her outfit can become a full argument. These actions may seem irrational, but in her mind, it is a fight for survival. She cannot risk losing her place in your world. In the most intense cases, jealousy leads to control. She may ask you to block certain women, avoid certain places, or stop talking to certain friends. This is when jealousy stops being subtle and starts becoming a weapon. It no longer hides, it commands. Every action she takes, whether it's small sabotage or total control, is a way of screaming the same message: don't let anyone replace me. Recognizing jealousy without falling into paranoia. Recognizing jealousy is a skill that can protect you from confusion, but it also requires balance. If you look for it everywhere, you may start seeing signs that don't exist. If you ignore it completely, you miss the truth that sits in plain sight. The key is awareness without obsession. The first step is to observe patterns, not single actions. One jealous act can be meaningless: a raised eyebrow, a sudden silence, or a sarcastic comment. But when these small acts repeat, when they form a rhythm across days and weeks, that is when you know jealousy is alive. Second, focus on the energy behind the actions. Sometimes words are polite, but the tone is sharp. A simple "oh, you were with her" may sound casual, but the way it is said carries weight. Jealousy hides in tone, pauses, and body language more than in actual words. Another way to recognize jealousy is by noticing sudden changes in behavior. If she was always calm before but now becomes restless when other women are around, that's not coincidence. If she once trusted you fully but now checks your phone or questions your time, something has shifted inside her. Change is the clue jealousy leaves behind. But here comes the trap. If you start suspecting jealousy everywhere, you create paranoia. Paranoia makes you question even the most innocent smile or harmless question. That destroys trust. So how do you avoid it? The answer is restraint. Instead of reacting to every sign, watch for consistency. True jealousy shows itself repeatedly. False alarms fade away. It's also important to separate jealousy from care. Sometimes a woman asks questions not because she's jealous, but because she genuinely cares about your safety or wants to feel close. If she asks who you were with, it could be love. If she asks the same question with tension, sarcasm, or hidden anger, it's jealousy. Context changes everything. One method that psychologists suggest is to observe emotional spikes. Jealousy is not calm, it's a burst. If her mood shifts instantly when another woman enters the picture, that spike is your evidence. Real emotions reveal themselves in sudden changes, not steady states. The most dangerous mistake men make is feeding jealousy with lies. If you try to hide things, delete messages, or deny obvious facts, her suspicion grows stronger. Jealousy feeds on secrets. The more you hide, the more she believes you are guilty, even if you're not. To protect yourself, honesty is your shield, but so is boundary setting. If jealousy turns controlling, you must stand firm. Otherwise, her fear will slowly trap you in invisible chains. Love without freedom is not love, it's prison. So, recognizing jealousy is not just about spotting her signals. It's about reading her patterns, respecting her emotions, and protecting your own peace at the same time. When you master that balance, you no longer get lost in suspicion or manipulation. You see the truth clearly, without drowning in it.